Hello everyone and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today we're going to be seeing the second game in a four-game set of the Cubs playing in Washington against the Nationals. The Cubs lost game one of this series 7-3, and now we are going to get underway with game two. Looking at the lineups briefly here, we see that the Cubs are going with pretty well their standard starting lineup. I see Jason Heyward is back in the lineup as the leadoff hitter. Yu Darvish, starting pitcher for the Cubs. He is on fire, as the little flame would indicate. He has started 4 games for the Cubs with 1 win and 2 losses and a .386 ERA and a very impressive 9.8 strikeouts per 9. Max Scherzer will be starting for the Nationals, and he has also started 4 games. He is 2-1 with a .326 ERA and a very impressive .076 WHIP. Today's game is 48 degrees outside, and the wind is blowing in from center at 8 mph. And let's play some baseball. The Cubs are sending up leadoff hitter Jason Heyward, batting from the left side against the righty Max Scherzer to lead off this game. A full count to Heyward. Scherzer looking in, getting the sign, shaking off the sign, and here's the pitch. And Heyward gets strike 3 called on a fastball down and in. Next batter will be second baseman David Fletcher with 1 out and nobody on and an 0-1 count. Fletcher slaps one into right field just over the first baseman's head. That is going to be a single for Fletcher with 1 out. Bringing up now Anthony Rizzo. With a full count to Rizzo, Scherzer looks in. Here's the pitch. Rizzo hits it hard to right field, but that is right at the right fielder Eaton. He didn't have to move very far to catch that. And that'll be the second out. Baez will now bat. Runner still standing on first. 2 outs, 1-2 count. Baez hits it ground too short. He'll flip to second to get the lead runner. And the Cubs are retired in the top of the first inning. They get 1 hit, but the runner is stranded. We go now to the bottom of the first. Darvish, the pitcher for the Cubs. 2-2 count to Eaton. Here is the pitch. He hits it on the ground to second. Fletcher fields cleanly. Fires over to first to retire Eaton for the first out. Juan Soto will now bat, the replacement for Bryce Harper, out in left field. Full count to Soto. And that is hit in the air, a soft liner right at Rizzo. He puts it away for the second out. Trey Turner will now bat, Washington shortstop, with 1-1 count. And he hits it hard to left center field. That's going to one hop to the wall. Schwarber tracks it down. He fires it back into Baez. Trey Turner is standing on second with a double. That'll bring up Eric Thames, Washington first baseman, with the runner in scoring position and 2 out in the bottom of the first. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. Fletcher scoops this one up, throws to first, and the Nationals are retired in the bottom of the first inning. Go to the top of the second in a 0-0 game. Kyle Schwarber will be the batter, leading off against Scherzer. Cubs half of the second. 2-2 count. Schwarber on the ground to first, and Schwarber hustles down the line and beats it out for an infield single. The pitcher Scherzer was a little late covering that play as he had to make it over to first, and Schwarber beat him in the foot race. Cubs have their second hit of the game now. Chris Bryant, the batter. 0-2 count to Bryant. Here's the pitch. And that's well hit to straightaway center field. Center fielder goes back and he makes the catch. That was Robles with a leaping catch right at the wall. Bryant put a charge in it, but ultimately came up a little bit short. Schwarber stays at first. He's not able to advance. Cubs now have one out, runner on first, and Contreras the batter. Full count to Contreras. And he hits it hard to left center field, but he got all of that one. He hit that to deep left center field, a 410-foot home run. And the Cubs are now owners of a 2-0 lead. Nice piece of hitting there by Contreras to break open the tie. Almora will now bat. Scherzer, with a 1-1 count, brings the pitch to the plate. And Almora pops up the bunt. Scherzer runs in a couple of steps and grabs it, and that is the second out of the inning. I don't know exactly why Almora was bunting in that situation, but that's what he did. Which brings up Darvish with a 1-2 count. And Darvish strikes out looking on a changeup. Scherzer just froze him with that changeup on the outside half. So, we go now to the bottom of the second inning. Cubs now owners of a 2-0 lead. And Darvish on with a 1-0 count to Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera grounds to first, and Rizzo fields it right on the first base line, runs up to the bag, and makes the play. Robles now the batter, with 1 out and nobody on. Here's the pitch. That is well hit to center field. That is going to hit right at the base of the wall. Robles cruises into second with a double. That was well out of Almora's reach. He did get the ball back in quickly. Otherwise, Robles would have likely tried for the triple. Suzuki now the batter. Kurt Suzuki, the Nationals catcher. He's going to bat with runner in scoring position and 1 out. 1-2 count. Strike 3 swinging. Nice slider there by Darvish to get the K. And now the Nationals pitcher Max Scherzer will bat with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position. 0-1 count. Oh, and the ball gets away. Contreras has to chase it back to the backstop. The runner Robles advances to third as there is no throw. And now the runner is 90 feet away. Scherzer has a 1-1 count. And here's the pitch. Strike 3 swinging on a 2-2 changeup. And Darvish gets out of the inning. We go now to the top of the third with the Cubs leading 2-0. Jason Heyward will be the leadoff hitter for the Cubs, top of the third inning. 1-0 count. Heyward hits it on the ground weakly between the pitcher and second baseman. The pitcher, Scherzer, fields, throws to first, and Heyward is retired for the first out. David Fletcher will now bat. He got a base hit his last time up. 0-1 count. Fletcher hits it on the ground. That one makes it all the way to the second baseman. And Cabrera this time fields and throws to first. And there are now 2 down for the Cubs in the top of the third. Anthony Rizzo now the batter. 1-0 count to Rizzo with 2 outs. Rizzo high in the air to right center field, but the right fielder is going to get there and put it away. That ball was very high up in the air, but Rizzo flies out for the third out. Go now to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Cubs. And Carter Kieboom is going to be the leadoff hitter for the Nationals in the bottom of the third inning. And I'll tell you, every time that Carter Kieboom comes up, he is my favorite batter to announce. And he hits one into left field. Schwarber is going to catch it on one hop. Kieboom has a single to lead off the Nationals half of the third. Adam Eaton now the batter. First pitch to Eaton. Ground ball to short. Baez to Fletcher. but there is no relay to first. The Cubs are not able to complete the double play. They do get the force at second. There is now 1 out, and Adam Eaton standing on first on the fielder's choice. Juan Soto will now bat for the Nationals. Full count to Soto, and he watches ball 4 go by outside. Soto walks down to first. Eaton advances to second. Nationals have got a chance to tie this game right here with Trey Turner up. 1 out and 2 men on. 2-0 count. There's a ground ball to short. Baez to Fletcher. But again, there is no relay to first base. Eaton advances to third. Turner is standing on first, but he grounds into a fielder's choice. There are now 2 outs and runners on the corners, and Eric Thames is the batter. 0-1 count. Darvish looks in. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Rizzo has it. Flips to the pitcher, Darvish covering, and the Nationals are retired in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Go down to the Cubs half of the 4th with a 2-0 Cub lead. Baez, the batter, standing in against Scherzer with a full count. Here's the pitch. Baez watches strike 3 go by as he strikes out looking. Schwarber will now bat with 1 out, nobody on, and a 2-2 count. And Schwarber swings and misses. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Scherzer. And now Bryant will bat. He came very close to a home run his last time up. He's hitting here with 2 outs and nobody on, and a 1-2 count. Bryant hits it hard to left center field. He got all of that one. That one was about 10 rows deep into the left field stands, 439 feet. And the Cubs are now up 3-0. Excellent piece of hitting by Bryant there. He wasn't going to be prevented from getting the home run that time. And Contreras, now the batter, he hit a home run his last time up. He is going to stand in with 2 outs and nobody on. 0-1 count to Contreras. Scherzer with the pitch. That's going to be a base hit into center field. Robles fields on 1 bounce, throws it back into the cutoff man, and Contreras stops at first. Almora now the batter. With Contreras on first, 2 outs. Cubs trying to keep this inning going. First pitch to Almora. He grounds out weakly, but pitcher Scherzer fields, throws to first, and the Cubs are retired, but not before they get another run on the Bryant solo shot, and now lead 3-0. Yu Darvish, coming out for his 4th inning of work, will face Asdrubal Cabrera in the Nationals half of the 4th inning. Full count. Darvish with the pitch. Strike 3 swinging. That is strikeout number 3 for Darvish. And Victor Robles now is the batter with 1 out and nobody on. And an 0-1 count. Robles hits it to right field. Hayward doesn't exactly make a motivated effort for that play, and he allows it to 1 hop. And he plays it on the hop out in right field. Robles is on first with a single. Suzuki now the batter with 1 out and 1 man on. Oh, and Robles is stealing. Contreras with the throw, but it's late, and actually it gets by the second baseman Fletcher. It goes all the way into center field. Robles goes to third on the throwing error by Contreras. And the Nationals now have a runner 90 feet away. Suzuki the batter with 1 out and a 1-0 count. Full count now to Suzuki. That's going to be a base hit to left field. It's going to drop in front of Schwarber. Robles scores easily from third base, although he held up thinking that Schwarber might get there. The Nationals have now cut into the lead. They trail 3-1. Scherzer the batter with Suzuki on first and 1 out. And what do you do here with Scherzer? I'm guessing it's a bunt. Let's see what happens. 0-1 count. Scherzer lays it down. Contreras with the throw to the second baseman, Fletcher, who's covering first. And Scherzer is retired. Suzuki advances to second. And Carter Kaboom is going to attempt to drive in Suzuki. with a full count, and Carter Kieboom strikes out swinging. Well, the Nationals score 1 run. They reduce the Cubs' lead to 3-1. And the Cub pitcher, Darvish, will lead off the top of the 5th inning. 0-1 count to Darvish with the pitch. He's going to get a base hit right up the middle. That was out of the reach of the shortstop, over his head. And Darvish has a single to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Trying to contribute to his own cause here. Jason Heyward will now bat with nobody out, runner on first. 2-2 count to Heyward. Heyward strikes out swinging on the 84-mile-an-hour slider. He was pretty well crossed up by that pitch. And Fletcher will now bat with 1 out and the runner still on first. Full count to Fletcher. He hits it on the ground right at the second baseman to short, over to first, and that is an inning-ending double play. Fletcher grounds into the inning-ending double play. The Cubs are retired in the top of the 5th. They get a base hit, but they do not score. We go down to the bottom of the 5th inning with a 3-1 Cub lead. Adam Eaton leading off for the Nationals. Darvish the pitch. And just out of the reach of the leaping Baez at shortstop, Adam Eaton has a single to center field to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Juan Soto will now bat with a 2-0 count. Soto grounds to Baez, over to Fletcher, and around the horn to first, and the Cubs actually complete the double play for the first time today. Baez to Fletcher to Rizzo. The Nationals now have 2 outs and nobody on. Trey Turner the batter with a full count. Darvish and the pitch. And that pitch must have been low because it looked like it was right over the plate. Darvish is not happy about losing Turner on that full count fastball. Might feel like he got squeezed a little bit on that pitch. Turner now standing on first with the base on balls, and Eric Thames the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. 0-2 count. Pitch is inside. Contreras throws down to second. Trey Turner steals his 5th base of the season. Contreras at least manages to get it to the second baseman instead of throwing it into center field this time. And now we have a 1-2 count for Thames with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. The full count pitch. There's a ground ball to second. Fletcher over to Rizzo, and that will retire the side. We go down to the top of the 6th inning. Cubs leading 3-1. Anthony Rizzo will be the batter. He is leading off against the National starter, Max Scherzer, coming out with 82 pitches to his name so far in this game. 1-2 count to Rizzo. Rizzo pops it up. The third baseman floats over a few steps toward third and puts it away for the first out. Baez will now bat. Full count to Baez with 1 out. Baez hits it hard to right field. That's going to be 1 hop to the wall. Baez rounds first, going for second. He stops at second base. He's standing up with a double. Baez hit that one very hard out to right center field. Has a double for his efforts. And Schwarber will stand in now with 1 out and 1 man on. Top of the 6th inning. Full count to Schwarber. And Schwarber strikes out looking. He got a slider on a full count pitch, and Schwarber must have decided that he just couldn't do anything with it. It was either going to be a strike or he was going to get walked, but he couldn't swing and do anything with it. So Baez now still standing on second base, and Bryant, who hit his 2nd home run of the game earlier, this 2nd home run of the season earlier in this game, now standing in. 1-0 count to Bryant with the pitch. Bryant hits that hard to center field. That's gonna go all the way to the wall. Baez coming around to score. Bryant sliding into second. He is safe with a double. And that is an RBI double for Chris Bryant. The Cubs now lead the game 4-1. Nice piece of hitting there by Bryant with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position. Contreras now the batter. Scherzer still standing in there at 102 pitches with an 0-2 count. And Contreras strikes out swinging to end the inning. But the Cubs do get another run And they lead now 4-1 on the Bryant double. The Cubs are going to make a pitching change. Lefty Brad White is going to come in. He will face the switch hitter Asdrubal Cabrera, and then a long list of right-handers in the bottom of the Nationals order. So let's take a look at the line for Yu Darvish. Right now he would stand to win this game. He threw 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, earned, walked 2, and struck out 4. All doing that on 91 pitches. Now, we have the lefty White ready to go. 3-1 count to Cabrera. White with the pitch. And there's a ground ball to third. Bryant is going to scoop that up, and he is going to kick the ball. That is a fielding error on Bryant over at third. He has not exactly looked rock solid down there at third base so far this season. Bryant with the error, Cabrera standing on first, nobody out, and Victor Robles the batter. 1-1 count. He hits that to center field. Almora is going to get there and put it away for the first out. The catcher Suzuki will now bat. Cabrera still standing on first, 1 out, 2-2 count. And Suzuki swings and misses for the second out. The Nationals are going to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. Let's take a look at Scherzer's line. He threw 6 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned against 7 strikeouts and 2 home runs allowed. While throwing 105 pitches, he would stand to lose this game at the moment. White now pitching to the pinch hitter Howie Kendrick. 0-2 count to Kendrick with the pitch. Ground ball to third. Bryant scoops this one up. He fields cleanly this time and throws over to first, and Rizzo puts it away for the third out. Well, the Nationals get an extra opportunity in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they are not able to capitalize. And now the Cubs are going to come up in the top of the 7th, still holding to a 4-1 lead. Almora will lead off for the Cubs, top of the 7th inning, against the new National pitcher, Steve Okert. He is going to slot into the number 8 spot for the pinch hitter, Kendrick, who showed up in the last inning. And the Cubs actually have Brad White coming up in the next batting spot. I wonder if he's going to get pinch hit for as well. But here's Almora in the top of the 7th inning, leading off. Steve Okert looking in. Here's the pitch. And Almora pops it up toward first base. The first baseman looks like he's going to have an easy play, and Eric Thames pulls it in for the first out. And yes, so the lefty Okert now is going to face the righty pinch hitter Steve Souza for the Cubs with 1 out, nobody on. Full count to Souza with the pitch. That's going to be a base hit down the right field line. That's going to get it all the way down into the corner. Souza, however, makes a big turn and stops at first base. Souza with the single with 1 out, and Hayward now the batter. Okert pitching. Hayward hits that down in the right field corner. That one actually gets all the way down into the corner. The right fielder did not cut that one off. Souza goes to third, makes a big turn at third, but thinks better of it, stops. Hayward has a double, and the Cubs now have something going on. They have runners on second and third, only 1 out, and Dave Fletcher is the batter. First pitch to Fletcher, and that is hit high in the air to deep left field. It looks like it'll be playable, though. The left fielder Soto gives chase and pulls it in, but that is plenty deep for Souza to tag up and score. Credit Fletcher with the sac fly on that deep fly ball to left field. The Cubs now lead 5-1 with 2 outs and a runner on second. Rizzo now the batter with a 2-1 count. Rizzo hits it pretty well, but that's going to end up being a pop-up to the second baseman, and Cabrera puts it away for the third out in the top of the seventh inning. We go now to the bottom of the seventh inning with the Nationals trailing the Cubs 5-1. So for the seventh inning stretch here in Washington, there is actually a race among the former presidents, and it looks like Thomas Jefferson is the winner today. Carter Kieboom is going to lead off the bottom of the seventh inning for the Nationals. He will face right-hander Trevor Megill out of the Cub bullpen. Megill looks in. Here's the pitch. And that is a fly ball to center field. It is going to be played on one hop by Almora. Kieboom has a single, and Eaton now is the batter with the runner on first and nobody out. 3-1 count to Eaton. And that is a walk. Megill with the outside changeup, I believe, to Eaton as he watches it go by for ball 4. Soto now the batter. The Nationals trying to get back into this game in the bottom of the seventh. They have first and second and nobody out. Full count. Here's the pitch. And another walk. Megill has just issued 2 walks, which follow the Kieboom single, and now the Nationals have the bases loaded and nobody out in the middle of their order coming up. Trey Turner now the batter. The Nationals shortstop with a chance to cut into this lead. 1-2 count. Ground ball. The pitcher throws home. Contreras steps on the plate, but he does not have a play at first, as Turner is pretty speedy, makes it down to first base. Well, the run is prevented by the fielder's choice at home. Megill with a heads-up play threw it home on that weak ground ball. The Nationals still have the bases loaded, but there is 1 out, and Eric Thames is the batter. 1-2 count with the pitch. Popped up to the left side. Bryant is there, and he puts that one away in foul territory for the second out. Megill will now pitch to Asdrubal Cabrera with the bases loaded and 2 out. Megill looks in. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. And strike 3 called on the inside corner. Megill escapes his own jam, which he created, and retires the Nationals in the bottom of the 7th inning. We go now to the top of the 8th with the Cubs on a 5-1 lead. Javier Baez will lead off for the Cubs in the top of the 8th inning against Okert, who's coming out for his 2nd inning of work. 2-2 count to Baez. Okert with the pitch. Baez pops it up on the infield. It looks like the third baseman is going to call everybody off, and Kieboom makes the catch for the first out. Schwarber will now bat. Top of the 8th inning, 1 out. Schwarber with a hot ground ball, but right at the second baseman. Cabrera picks it up, throws to first, and Schwarber is retired for the 2nd out. Chris Bryant will now bat. He hit a home run earlier in this game with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-0 count. Bryant hits it up the middle. Is that going to drop in for base hit? Yes, it is. Bryant gets another base hit. He has a home run, a single, and a double. He actually just needs a triple to complete the cycle. I don't know if he's going to get another at-bat, though, in this game. We're already in the top of the 8th. Bryant now standing on first with Contreras, the next batter. And the Nationals are going to bring in a different reliever. Right-hander Wander Suero will be the new pitcher. 0-2 count to Contreras. Suero with the pitch. Oh, and he hits Contreras. Man, he hit him with a cutter. I don't think that's what he's trying to do with a 2-strike count. But Contreras takes his base, heads down to first. Bryant advances to second, and Almora now is the batter with 2 outs and 2 on. 3-1 count. And Suero misses inside, although I think he would swear that was a strike. We now have a bases loaded situation, and David Ross sends up his favorite pinch hitter, Jason Kipnis, to bat from the left side against the right-hander Suero. With 2 outs, the bases loaded, Cubs trying to extend on a 5-1 lead. 0-2 count with the pitch. Kipnis hits it to straightaway center field. Robles is going back, but he is going to have a play, and he catches it on the warning track. The Cubs leave 3 runners on base, do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th with a 5-1 Cub lead. David Ross is going to tap a new relief pitcher here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's going to bring in Jeremy Jeffress as Kipnis pinch hit for the pitcher's spot in the top of the 8th. Jeffress will be facing the 6, 7, 8 batters in the Nationals lineup. First off with Victor Robles, who actually made the catch to end the top half of the inning. That is a strike, and rain has started falling here in Washington. 0-1 count to Robles. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That is a fly ball to right field. Hayward has a good line on it. It looks like he's going to pull it in. And that is the first out of the inning. Kurt Suzuki now is the batter. The Washington catcher will stand in with 1 out. And we have a rain delay. After the first pitch to Suzuki, everyone's ran for the dugouts as it started coming down pretty hard. We have just experienced a 64-minute rain delay. But we are coming back out to play now. Jeffress will still be the pitcher. Suzuki the batter. 1 out, 1-0 count. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Suzuki. And he hits it out to right field. That is going to drop in front of Hayward, and Suzuki has a single. Well, after the hour rain delay, Jeffress came back out, and he did not look very sharp. Suzuki now standing on first. Castro the batter. 1 out, and a full count. Starlin Castro, the pinch hitter, hits it right up the middle. That's going to be a single to center. Almora throws to third, which prevents the runner from advancing from second to third. And now the Cubs are going to bring in Brandon Morrow. He is going to face Carter Kaboom and then the top of the Nationals order. The situation is the Cubs are up 5-1. The Nationals have 2 runners on and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball up the middle. Suzuki is out at second. And on the double play, Kaboom is out at first. That was 6-4-3, and the inning is over. The Cubs escape another jam and go now to the top of the 9th inning, still protecting a 5-1 lead. 2-2 count. Guerrera, the new pitcher for Washington. And Hayward swings and misses on the 2-2 changeup. Next batter, David Fletcher, will stand in with 1 out, nobody on, a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. He hits it on the ground sharply over to third base. Be an easy play. Kaboom over to Thames to retire Fletcher. And Rizzo now will stand in with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. With the pitch. Hits it on a line into right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Rizzo rounds first, heading for second. Rizzo is going to have to slide, and he makes it in safely to second base. Rizzo has a double. And we have a 2-out double from Anthony Rizzo, and Javier Baez will now bat against the Washington pitcher, Javi Guerrera. 1-2 count to Baez. Baez hits it very hard, very deep to left field. He just got all of that one. He cleared the bullpens and got it into the seats in left field, 433 feet. Home run number 7 for Javier Baez. He leads the Cubs. He actually has twice as many home runs as any other Cub, and has been a critical part of the Cubs' success so far this season. 7-1 lead now for Chicago. We are still in the top of the 9th inning. There are still 2 out, and Kyle Schwarber is the batter with a 1-2 count. Schwarber knocks it into center field pretty high, but Robles is going to walk in and make that catch for the 3rd out. Schwarber flies out to end the top of the 9th inning. We now go to the bottom of the 9th with a 7-1 Cub lead. Brandon Morrow is going to stay in, have a chance to finish off this game. Not a save opportunity, but still, chance to finish off the Nationals. With a 2-1 count to Adam Eaton, that slider was hit the opposite way out into left field. Schwarber plays it on one bounce, and Eaton stands on first with a single. Juan Soto now, with nobody out, runner on first, and he flies it out to left field. Schwarber coming in, he will make the catch. No chance to tag up, as that was shallow right field. Eaton stays on first, and Trey Turner's the batter with a 3-1 count to Turner. Morrow looking in, there's the pitch. Line drive to Baez. He looks over at first, but no chance to double off Eaton. Eaton had a pretty good idea of what was going to happen right when that came off the bat. And that is the 2nd out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Eric Thames will now bat with a 3-ball count. And he watches ball 4 go by low. Washington now has another base runner. And as Drupal Cabrera will bat from the left side against the righty Morrow with 2 outs and 2 on. And a 2-2 count. That's going to be a base hit to center field. That is going to one-hop the wall. 1 run comes around to score. Cabrera has a double. Second runner stops at third base. Almora gets it back into the infield. Cabrera, with the RBI double, makes this game 7-2. The Cubs now bring in a new reliever, Casey Sadler. He will face Victor Robles with 2 outs and 2 men on. I wonder if they intentionally walk Robles here. Let's see what happens. A 2-2 count to Robles. No, they're pitching to him. All right, ground ball to Baez. Baez to Rizzo, and that is the game. The Nationals get 1 run back in the bottom of the 9th, but ultimately the Cubs are victorious 7-2. Looking at the box score, we see the Cubs got 7 runs on 13 hits and committed 2 errors, while the Nationals got 2 runs on 11 hits and no errors. The Cubs improved their record to 10-10. The Washington Nationals dropped to 9-10. Yu Darvish, Cubs starter, gets the win. He is now 2-2. Max Scherzer, the Washington starter, gets the loss. He is 2-2. There was a rain delay of 64 minutes in the 8th inning, and our player of the game is Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant today managed to go 3 for 4. He was a triple away from getting the hitting for the cycle. He did get a home run. He drove in 2 and scored 1. And overall, pretty good day for Chris Bryant. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.